All right, guys, we're live now, and we're going to jump into the 1A breakdown of what's kind of out there right now for rankings and expectations for the weight classes. I know a lot of people aren't fully in their weight classes, but I thought this would be a fun thing, and I've been getting um, encouraged by my 1A correspondent, Jim Masney, to kind of dive into this. And so, buddy, Staver from Lena Stockton, you obviously are well versed on the 1A scene and all the guys. We went through the 1A state tournament last year. So
Mhm.
let's dive through and see what the expectations are, what you guys think. So, yeah, I guess we can jump in. The 106. What welcome guys. Thanks for doing this by the way too.
No doubt.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. So just off of your I mean, buddy, like how many of these what's the percentage do you think where guys are maybe ranked that they're still moving and how many of yeah, just how many people do you think are actually still moving? Still early
Oh,
in the season.
way early in this yearly season. I mean, obviously the body fat testing nowadays, there's certain dates you gotta get down to. So, before long, they're gonna have to be at their weight class, at least certified, or make an appearance at that weight eventually here soon. Um, but no, I would say I bet there's still probably a solid 30%. I mean, that's a third of them that you know uh, are still moving around trying to figure out, and how many kids are going to figure out, come late January where they're trying to figure out what bracket stacked, and which one, where do I have a better shot, So I mean, yeah, we can go through here and talk about these kids and kind of where they're being represented at right now in the weight classes, but who's at what weight as far as cutting the weight and getting to their position, and when it comes down to studying the bracket and figuring out where I have a better shot or where the kid has a better shot at um, going the farthest at, you know,
Yeah.
how many kids can, be a 144, but think maybe of a 38 or a 50 could be my better shot at going farther down the line. So, and that always throws a wrench at things when kids start hopping around like that come sectional time too.
Yeah, that's for sure. Cool. All right. Well, let's go into 106. Let's just start with the idea of who you guys have as like a favorite heading into the December month. Um, who's the favorite?
Well, per the main three ranking platforms, we'll say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based
Yeah.
off the main three. I don't even know what school he's from, but Jeremiah Lawrence, 106 senior. He had
Mhm.
one loss last year down at state, and he lost to Eric Bush, who was the eventual champ, and it was a 2-0 loss in the quarters. So
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely agree with that. I've ever seen that kid. He's pretty well built. Chicago De La Salle.
all right.
Um, yep.
Oh,
Uh,
he was a runner up last year.
No, he took
he
third.
took third.
Yeah, he
Okay.
lost in
He
the
took
quarters.
took third. I think it was a 3-1 match or something like
Two
that.
zero.
2-0?
Two
2-0?
zero.
Okay. But he was a state qualifier
Nice.
previously too. So I mean, I believe 2A even. So
So some people have him all the way up to 120 in the rankings. That's why we don't see him in the other two. So that was just an expectation that he was going to go up, and looks like he's stayed down at 106, which means that he's probably got the size um, uh,
Yeah.
on you
mhm.
guys.
Might not see him at 106 till it's 108, right? I mean, so you can certify and then just,
Cert. Yep. Make the cert. Stay up, and then when
yeah.
you got the time to cut, stay down. Um, and just from the previous years, the kids are gonna be down there. Um, some previous state qualifiers are still down to that weight class. There's a Raiden Terry from Seneca, a Stephen Urden from Oakwood.
That
There's,
Terry, he's a sophomore, so I don't know if that's older or mid
mhm,
age for a 106er, but he went 1-2 at state last year, and then he only lost to Jeremiah Lawrence 2-1.
that's tough.
So,
That's tough.
and this is last year. I don't know how much changes, but don't 3-point takedowns and everything else that changes all this year for
The
sure.
free, the free part takedown is really big on these kids now. Honestly, just
Oh yeah,
it's huge.
And
And
he
there's
was one more thing about Terry. He went 7-0 at Abe's last year, 9-0 if you include forfeits, but he went 7-0 at Abe's. Don't know who he saw. Didn't look at that far into it. Just know he went undefeated at Abe's, which,
that's tough. I mean, that's 2 days without loss. 2 days. I mean, that's consecutive matches in 48 hours. So that's pretty, under 48 hours.
Yeah. What do you guys
it's
know
always
about-
it's always interesting the freshmen rolling in too, that the no names in that weight class, because you always get the young freshmen kind of coming in that don't really know the credit, don't know where they're the background until you kind of see them throughout the season too. Like I say, it's middle of December. We still got a lot of wrestling going on yet. So
I have a handful. I'll just jump right in. We'll skip some of the kids that are ranked on all three, and let me just Landon Neer is ranked from Newman, but he's underranked. He's an IKWF runner-up. I mean, that's real. That's a real thing.
Yeah, coming in at 106 for sure.
Yep.
He lost. His only loss at IK State was to that Eric Kiltroff, the little guy from. He was an Izzy kid, then he ended up at Montini.
Yeah,
he's a three-time. Yep, he's a three-time IKWF state champ. Hoagie Bear lost to him twice, and we know how good Hogan Rice is. So I mean, this
Hogan Rice is
yeah. So this Eric kid is legit, and that's Near's only loss.
That's Landon Near. That's the Near kid. Okay.
Yep, he's a freestyle or Illinois freestyle tournament. He took third, and he's a Greco champ. I mean, the kid's good.
So he's got a lot of wrestling experience. So that's
Nate Martinez kid. Just
NWO guy.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm sure I know him then if I see him then. Yeah. I'm a lot of those younger kids. I don't catch names a lot in the IK series. I know a lot of faces and watch. I've seen a lot of the matches. I just don't really know a lot of the names.
Yeah. Another NWO kid is Aiden Spinelli. Now he's at Amboy, and he's incoming freshman, and he's the kid that's gonna beat a better wrestler most of the time, and he's gonna lose because the kid's gonna be significantly bigger. He's just a little 106. You know what I mean? That's all there is to it. He's small at 106, real small.
Where is he at? Amboy?
Yep.
Okay.
Amboy. But he's good. Like I say, he's the better wrestler, but he's not the bigger, he's undersized.
So do you think he should be on this list?
I think he surprised a lot of people just by being that good. You know what I mean?
I'd be curious there too, because I didn't make it down to Amboy last night. We were down there last night, and Morrison, Amboy, and us were there. And Coach Wright's little boy, Hale, them two would have wrestled last night, and they're both kind of undersized 106 kids, I believe. I'm not sure what Kale's up to now, but he's another kid that's a freshman who's been around wrestling, for a long time. His dad's a coach, and a couple IESA medals, So another kid, he'll make some noise, but like I say, I think he wrestled 80 some pounds last year IESA. So I mean, he's another kid that'll be a name.
Can we find the results from that, Dalton, or not? Right in versus last night? Yeah. I don't know.
Should be on track.
And you know this kid real well too, buddy. Cam Whitehead, Winnebago kid.
Yeah. Cam. No, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
He's
Cam,
another
kind of undersized. Is he up there yet though? He's
not really.
Because he didn't. What did he do at Rockford East? Because he was there, right?
I don't know if Winnebago was there or not.
No,
I don't know.
He lost.
May look.
He wasn't in the finals.
But he's another example of a kid that's probably better than most of the kid he wrestles, but they're just gonna
be
a weight bully him or whatever you want to call it, just out power him.
Yes. Oh, for sure. No, yeah, he'll scrap with you till the end. But like I say, he just might get out muscled.
That's where we're at. That's kind of where we're at, Marion, with our 106. Diego Martinez, he's good.
Yep.
He's little. He's little.
Yeah.
We got another kid, Cam Spinolas. He's a good size 106er, and I don't know that they've actually wrestled off for the starting spot yet.
They don't have the 2024 Rockford East online.
I have it on Northern. I have it. I'll look it up real quick.
Okay, so I'm under track trying to find some other tournaments. So,
I
but
guess since we're jumping, or maybe I probably initiated the jumping around. If we just keep on rattling off names, I guess before we close out 106, let's just say,
So
all right,
Cam
here,
Redhead got 5th at the Rockford East tournament. He
now was that a true wrestleback for third, or was that a drop down to?
I'm not sure. I believe it was a true wrestleback.
For third.
Yeah.
I know some of those bigger ones they dropped down to 5th because of the match limit.
Yeah, no, I think he made it to the semis, but I think he lost. But yeah, so he took 5th place at the Rockford East tournament. Still in the process of finding the duel from Lena, but I did find where I'm at, but I just got to get it. Because we don't need Lena versus Morrison.
Yeah, Morrison Amboy.
But yeah, so we bounced around, but where did we leave off as far as yeah.
we got to Raiden Terry as far as like ranked kids go, and then I went down to underranked Landon, and then other kids that aren't ranked yet, but I think they're.
We had a double forfeit at 106 last night for Amboy.
Really?
For what, Amboy Lena?
Yep.
Yeah, no, because their Amboy kid jumped up to 13.
Spinelli?
Amboy Morrison.
Okay.
It'd be right, Spinelli. Yeah.
I see. Amboy Morrison.
There's a Stephen Uden that's he was on the rankings. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who he is, which doesn't mean any like that. No, doesn't mean that it's not a bad thing that I don't know who he is. I just don't know who he is. I don't know.
He qualified last year. He's Oakwood, right?
Okay.
Was that who it was? Oakwood kid?
I'm not sure.
Oakwood. Stephen right? Oakwood. Yep.
All I know is he's a sophomore. That's the only thing I could find on him when I did my little okay, they got this guy ranked. Let me see what he did or what he didn't do. Zane Stanley, they had him in all 3 platforms. He's a junior. He went 4-3 at Abe's Rumble.
Okay. So Spinelli Rubright. Is that what we're looking for?
Right. WRGI.
So that we did not see that match last night. So Spinelli wrestled Rubright, and Cale Wright took a forfeit.
Really? Cale to take a forfeit at 13?
Yep.
Did Spinelli win?
Spinelli won by fall, but so Spinelli didn't want that heat. He didn't want to wrestle. So Spinelli, what now? So are you guys assuming that the Morrison kid the Cale Wright is going to drop down to 106?
He's already below one. He's not even 106 yet.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So why was he at 113?
Team points, I'm guessing.
Wow. So that's never good. I mean, why do you not wrestle that match? For a duel, the 2 teams, I mean, they don't matter. Nobody's going to care who wins that duel.
Yeah. That'd be my only guess. That's my only guess. I mean, that's the only reason that I think could do that. Why else wouldn't you wrestle it?
You got to wrestle those matches. Those individual matchups like that are the most important thing, because we're here talking about who's the better guy, and we don't know because they chose not to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
And they both are at the same weight class. Man, that ain't good.
So, all right.
Well, he moves down because of that. So, all right. So we got through Jeremiah Lawrence. We got Raiden Terry. We got Landon Neer. What about these other guys?
Zane Stanley, junior, 4-3 at Abe's. Yep, 4-3 at Abe's last year, which I don't know. I mean, depending on who they saw, right? That's. And then he DNP'd. He didn't place. He didn't make it a state. He DNP'd at sectionals.
From the bench.
Yeah,
he's sectional. That's South.
Yeah, but I mean, He's a 106 junior. I mean,
106 junior. Yeah. But I mean, you think about that too. There's a Stillman Valley kid that's a senior also.
I know. I don't know who that is.
So
I
I don't
actually
need,
I texted Jeff Jones yesterday when I was doing all my stuff, and I said, who is this guy? He says, oh, he's our 106 senior. I'm like, really?
so
Yeah.
I mean, you
I
can't always
noticed
do. I mean, you
him
can't always figure that. I mean, you should figure a 106 senior as a top contender. But
Well,
like
he
you say,
didn't make it out of sectionals last year.
what's his credentials? You know, that's the thing. What does he have any off-season stuff? Does he, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take a freshman that works their ass off over a senior that goes out for wrestling.
Yeah,
you know?
especially the guys that, like you mentioned, that are in it, you know.
And I'm not saying that kid's not.
career.
Sorry, I'm not saying that kid's not a good wrestler or anything. I'm just, I
No.
don't think.
Well, I
Only
mean,
thing.
Here, last year as a junior, he didn't make it out of sectionals.
Right.
Maybe he chopped wood all summer.
Yeah, but our four state qualifiers from our sectional placed at state. So
yeah.
By that champ. What do we have? The first? No, I guess 3 out of the 4. The champ, 4th and 5th placers at 106 come off our sectional.
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
So yeah, I mean then he's looking a lot better right now because the road was tough. But what about this Jacoby Cobbs from Altoff?
All I found on him is he's a sophomore.
But he's ranked amongst most of the rankings. They have Cobbs. Yeah, I mean he's ranked in every ranking site. So it's like, I mean, he must be good.
I mean, obviously, his names must have come up somewhere to somebody's eye where they're obviously putting some trust in and being good. So
yeah,
I think he's the one that's from St. Louis,
which is right next to it, you know.
Yeah.
So
maybe maybe he did a lot of damage in Missouri as a freshman, and
yeah,
you know.
The other one that keeps finding his way into the rankings is Stephen Uden from Salt Fork. Where's Salt Fork, buddy? You're one.
Oh, that's Stephen Uden. That's the Oakwood kid we just talked about.
Oakwood
Salt Fork. I don't know Salt Fork. I know Oakwood area, but I never really heard of the Salt Fork. And they must have just kind of joined them last couple of years because it was always Oakwood. Yeah, it was Oakwood Salt Fork, but I think I had somebody else with them. Oakwood something else, but that's kind of Champaign area, I believe, over in that. Oakwood.
So I think that's our top. I think we got through 6. I think we got, top 6 guys, maybe not in any particular order. We got Jeremiah Lawrence, Raiden Terry, Landon Neer, Zane Stanley, Jacoby Cobbs, and Stephen Uden.
Yeah. There's a Charlie Flores that's ranked on 2 of them platforms. Junior, went 3-2 at Abe's, didn't make it out of sectionals.
Yeah.
There's Aiden Evans, freshman.
From Vandalia. He just got done this one.
He's an ISA kid, but he didn't place at the John Davis tournament. So he's, kicking ass in IESA and then goes to the John Davis tournament and doesn't place, which I don't know what that means. Yeah, I mean, I won't.
It's not a great sign for the guy like Raiden Terry that we were talking about, or Landon Neer, who are coming out of, IK State that performed well, right?
No doubt. I mean, if you had a top 3, if you wrestled a 3-man round robin between Jeremiah Lawrence, Raiden Terry, and Landon Neer, I don't know who wins. But I think those are your 3. I think those are your top 3.
I got you. Well, I like that. Let's try to go into that concept. Let's try to get as much as we know out there, and then try to figure out a top 3 that we can move on with, because a lot of these guys will not see each other until the state series,
right?
Tournament, and some of them haven't wrestled at all year. So it's going to be a challenge to know.
What school was Lawrence out of, buddy?
De La Salle, Chicago De La Salle.
Are they an Abe's Rebel team or not? Oh no, because they were 2A and they just got knocked down. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, they're 2A. He was a 2A qualifier in 23. So at 106.
Got it.
And where's Raiden Tiriata?
Seneca.
Seneca.
Are they an Abe Rummel team?
Yes. Yeah, he's the
Okay.
one that went. He's the one that went 7-0, right?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. 9-0 including 4. Yeah. 7-0
Yeah.
at Abe's. So
Can
yeah, there's a potential to see him and Landon near down at Abe's.
Yes. Yep.
That was your own research. All right, cool. Yeah, so should we move on to 113?
Yes.
At this rate, we're not getting through all 14 tonight. Might be good. We might be able to.
I might be starting the bus in the morning if we get this up.
All right, well, 113, we've got, plenty to choose from. Obviously, guys that pop out, Austin Hagavold
Mhm.
was runner-up or third place last year? Jim?
He finished fourth.
Yeah, fourth or fifth. Fifth or fourth. Yeah.
Fourth.
Okay.
No, he lost to the De La Salle. What was his name? Lawrence.
But he made it all the way to the semis.
He lost to Bush and Lawrence.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bush and Lawrence. Yeah. Bush in the semis, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bush in the semis. And then you got the Swanson from Princeton, who. What's that?
What year is he?
He's a junior.
Okay.
Augusta. That's what I have him. I have him here as a junior. He was a sectional champ out of that group with Hagavold, Bush, and Swanson, and then was beating the Vandalia kid who ended up being the finals. The Phil Pop. He was beating Phil Pop with like last few seconds and then got thrown to his back. I want to say that's how that match went, if I remember right. I know he was beating the Vandalia kid, and all you had to do was just get away, and ended up taking a shot, arms out, and throwing to his
That
back.
Phil Pot kid last year, he was losing plenty of times, and then he'd come back and pin you. You know.
Yep. Vandalia kids, man. They must like just going to the prison and working out. They're just huge. I'm not gonna lie. Them guys are big. Yeah, you think of these 1A teams, like they're big. They're just big kids. They've always have been. So
you're saying they cut a lot of weight. They're big guys.
They're big guys that cut weight. Yep.
Got it. Well, so it's the two front runners you think are Philpott and Swanson.
I know. I think Augie. I think Austin Havgold. He wrestled 120 last night against Marist and Niles Notre Dame. I think he teched both of his kids, or he ended up pinning one kid. But I mean, the Marist 120's the Marist 120. I mean, he's good.
Mm-hmm.
3A
120 pounder.
Yeah, right. At the number one ranked team in the state.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the kid's gonna be legit. And Augie, I don't know, man. Austin's he's good this year. Not that he wasn't good last year, but he's a little different. There's something he's not under. He wasn't a big 106 last year.
No, he wasn't.
This year he's a good size 113, which is huge.
Yes. No, that's a big difference. I would definitely say the top three in this bracket are similar to last year's 106. The Phil Pop, Swanson, Hagavold. The Olympia. The Olympia kid
got fourth last year.
What's that? Yeah, the Elmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Olympia kid rolling in here too. He's a 2-time placer.
I think it's Eimer.
Eimer.
I think it's E-I-M-E-R.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. My screen's all messed up. Eimer. Yeah, he's a 2-time placer. So he's no stranger. He missed state in 23 though. So placer as a freshman and a junior. Yeah.
So Philpott, Hagavold, Swanson, and Eimer are all returning state placers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had Brendan White from Dakota. Didn't he place last year at 106?
No, he lost in the blood round or the round before.
Okay. Well, I know he's at 13 this year, and he's a Dakota kid, so he's going to be ready, right? He's going to be ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree. I seen him. I think the match that he lost last year at State, he was he was not favored, and he gave that kid a run for his money.
Yeah.
So I mean, show that they're going to have a strategy for him. They're going to have the training for him, and yeah, and I think there's a couple other state medals here too.
Oh, yeah, Colin Sweely
from Benton. So there's the Benton 6-pounder and 13-pounder are both highly ranked. So I mean, there's two good practice partners right there.
And what do you think? How much weight do you put in the guy returning to the same weight class?
What was that?
I said, how much do you put into the fact that Sweely and Eimer are both returning to the same weight class? They're both returning at 113 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends on the
opposed
lineup.
to the guys moving up from 106.
Yeah, I think a lot of that depends on the makeup of the team. I mean, you might be forced. Maybe you'd perform a whole hell lot better at 120, but for the team aspect, like the team part, you have to make 13 again, and now maybe you're not doing this. You know what I mean? Maybe you're not doing yourself any justice by sacrificing your body for the team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how that works, but a lot of time with these little guys, like 13106ers, they're just little guys. That's just what they are.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, how is this build actually? How are these? I don't remember seeing these guys personally. How are they actually built? Are they little guys? Where they can just walk around and they got to shed a couple pounds to be 113-pounders, wrestle year round, keep their weight down, kind of type kids, or
I only have one set of 10 or 113 rankings in front of me. So there's somebody on 113 that I'm blatantly missing because it's not on here. And I thought of that Josiah Perez, 113 Oregon. Yeah.
Perez can make some noise down there.
Yep. He's a junior. He's at the right weight. You know what I mean? Last year he wasn't at the right weight. This year he's at the right weight.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
As a 6-pounder as a freshman, he made state. He's right. He was not near where he should have been last year. And they got a pretty good little group there too in Oregon, from 113 on up to 44. Yep. So there's a pretty good little group of scrappers there.
I heard they had a team on the ropes the other day, 35-0 all the way up to there.
They did. Then all of a sudden, like, I don't know what happened. It's like 40, 35.
Yeah.
I asked the coach, where are we starting at? 106. I'm like, oh, it's going to be ugly for a while.
Yeah. We still got to give Coach Lehman some advice on his forfeit at 190, I think.
Yeah.
He saw, did you guys pull a fast one on that one? We won't get on it too much, but you guys pull a quick one. When the duel's going fast, you don't really know. You're not paying attention sometimes who you put out there, and you got to be ready. Lena, Stockton, they're sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, let's. So right now I got Philpott, Hagavold, Swanson, Eimer, Sweely, and then these other guys like Brandon White, Perez.
Who's the Peterson kid out of Coal City?
I was just looking at him too. I'm like, he was a 6th at 106 last year. So I mean,
oh shit.
Obviously a state placer. So who would have beat him? Oh, Swanson would have beat him at 106 last year.
But that's another
kid.
That'll be ready, right?
Yeah, they're gonna. Coal City's always ready at the state tournament.
Yep.
They're coached well. They got a good program. They're always ready for the state tournament. And just another kid who might just shake some, make some noise, shake some things up in the bracket. Maybe not so much the top 2 or 3, but he might ruin somebody's chance to get a medal.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so far it looks like this weight class has the most potential for parity. I mean, there's so many returning state placers. There's so many returning people at the same weight class. So should be interesting.
Yeah. So I think, your top 3 are going to have to be Augie or Hagavold, Philpott, and Swanson, right? I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Yep. But if you're basing it just off of results from last year, that's
yeah. I would definitely say top 4 is Philpott, Eimer, Swanson, and Hagavold, because likely the Eimer out of there since he does have 2 state medals. He's a senior. Just something about your last year being down there, bring him. I'm gonna bring him in the conversation too. So.
But Brendan White, man, don't count out a Dakota kid, right? Like he'll.
Oh no, absolutely not. And it's like his junior year. Been down there before last year. Get the burrs out of him. They'll be ready. He'll be ready to make some noise.
Got it. All right. Well, let's move on to 120. We've got obviously returning 1 and 2 as Braden Tennyson. And
That's
Tyson Waddle.
that's not the same Waddle. That's okay. So at
Oh,
one, that's the
the-
113 state champ.
That's
Yep.
Tyson Waddle, not Tyson Waddle.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one that beat.
Hey, Alvarado, right?
No,
Not
Alanis.
Alanis, sorry.
Yeah.
Alanis.
Yeah.
Yes, in the quarters, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, quarters or semis.
Yeah,
Semis.
most likely it was
It been the
semis.
semis. It was the 1 and 4 seed meant the semis.
All right. So Preston's coming for revenge on Tennyson.
Yeah.
Who else we got? We got
Lawrence, that's a name, or like that's where they have him ranked at 120 on different
I
platforms.
see. Yeah.
So
He must be huge. They saw him somewhere though. They didn't take him from 106 to 120 without him wrestling in the off season somewhere.
And he was a big kid last year. I remember he was a pretty well, maybe 5 foot, but might squat 400.
Wow.
Type deal. If I remember the same kid, he was put together.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he stays down at 106 all year. All right, so I mean, I think obviously Braden Tennyson right now has to be the favorite. He's a returning state champ at 120 pounds,
Mhm.
And
his off-season schedule, right? I mean, I don't know what the Waddles are doing. They're not at the same place he's at. They're not at. I mean, I don't think they're at Fargo. Otherwise, they would have been in his bracket. I don't think they're down in. I mean, like Tennyson's off-season schedule was as good as it gets, or as tough as it gets.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That room there is. I mean, he's training with some of the best in the state right there in general.
Yeah.
I know that I do see the Waddles moved to Vandalia.
Yes.
Little better room for them guys. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what their off season is. I know the older brother got pretty tired in the state finals. Your junior year in the state finals, and so I mean, I've heard also that the Preston's a little tougher, but is he Braden Tennyson tough? No.
No. Sophomore versus senior, right? I mean, there's that.
Yeah. So I mean, I think Tennyson is definitely the heavy favorite in this bracket. Definitely at 120.
So do we have any returning state placers moving up? Or are these the two clear-cut favorites for?
I don't. Isaiah Perez, like the little Perez now. He's an IKWF state finalist. We saw him the other night. He's not small at 120.
He definitely fills out 120 better than Josiah would.
Oh yeah.
By looking at the two
different
brothers.
build. Yeah, I mean, absolutely different build.
Yep, absolutely.
I think Isaiah does. Isaiah does something.
Isaiah will do good.
Looks like the weight class to come into as a freshman though. This is, I mean, maybe not the weight class to win, but definitely seems like it could potentially be a weight class to make your splash.
Yeah, like we said earlier too. This could be one of those weight classes where people want to, that he can come right in too.
Although you also
you got a Waddle and Tennyson. I don't want to, let's go here or there. So, and that could definitely thin out.
Then at 26, you got another Waddle too. Don't forget.
That's true. So, yeah. So, no, I like. I seen Isaiah Perez for years now, watching him grow and mature. And I talked to him the other night, and he seems like he's pretty well, pretty focused this year. So, yeah, you definitely see him making some noise. I'm trying to think who else is in here that
there's nobody from 13 moved up. At least no returning state placers. Yeah, I don't see any from last year's state tournament. And
there's a Brady Mauser from Leroy.
Yeah, he's at 13, I believe.
Is he at 13?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where did you see that result?
he's on a ranking platform right now. They have number 8 at 13
13.
behind Anderson from Piatone.
Okay. Well, because he's been he's a 3-time qualifier at 106.
Okay.
So just another name that a senior in that lower weight classes too. So.
And again, the hard part is that that ranking came out a little early.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but I think the way they did this one maybe a little unique, maybe not as accurate either. They, hey, send us your projected weight class.
I see.
So I think if a kid's telling you, hey, listen, I'm going to make this, this is what I'm doing. I don't know if that's the right way to do that or not. I mean,
that kid, if he's considering it, he might double down on it depending on his, certification and stuff. Because 13, obviously, I think if you're looking to win state and you want to give yourself a shot, I mean, I personally would just stay at the weight class because I'm not trying to win state by avoiding anybody. But somebody might.
Yeah.
That's probably why I didn't win state.
Yeah, me either. Don't worry about it.
It actually is the reason. You want to hear a funny story about that? I was ranked number 1 in the state at 135 going into the state series, and I cut down to 130 because I wanted to wrestle Brandon Preeson, and then I lost. So, tough one. But either way, that's a sad story. So you guys have anybody after the? I mean, is it important to even put?
We have to find a number 3 just because it's only fair. We did it from 106, 113.
Okay, well, let's find it. I mean, like I said, the tough thing is there are no returning state placers. We have no.
What about who's the Roberts kid from Warrensburg Latham?
Okay, Logan Roberts.
Yeah, he was a 6th at 120.
Okay, I spoke too soon. That's why he's in 3rd in a lot of the rankings. Okay.
What did he get last year? 120. Yeah. He lost to one of Verhicke's.
There's a Coal City kid on here, Linmuth. I'm not sure who.
Okay, so the Roberts kid had what is it? Lindenmouth?
Just Lindmuth. Lindmuth.
Yeah, so the Roberts beat him 14-4 last year at state.
All right.
Yeah, Roberts had a good draw, made the semis, then had the big fall. So he went 2-3 and 2-3 at state and got 6th.
Okay. I'm just kind of playing that game where I look at where they're from and then say, okay, well, they'll be ready for state.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
She's in a bad. I mean, again, being at a good program, whether it's in the off-season training or just mentally preparing for the peak of the season, it definitely helps.
Right. So yeah, I think Tennyson beats the little Waddle brother, and then I think you see Prez on the podium as a freshman. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the top 2 are definitely pretty secure, and then I think it's just dogfight on the draws and everything too.
Right.
where the draws are, where everybody's going to be at, which would be nice. I mean, Tennyson should be 1, Waddle will be 2 for the seeds, and then how everybody kind of falls in where they go. That'll be a big part of how the place matches figure out.
Right, because I don't know who else in our. So Tennyson and Perez are in the same sectional. I don't know who else is at 120 in that. I don't know who else is at 120 even. I listened to Brody Ivy today, and I think they don't have a 120 yet, right? That was their one.
Yeah. That's their whole.
You guys got a game rooster at 20, buddy?
Not really, no. Little Jackson Norris, little Coach Norris's kid. Where's he at?
I don't know.
I know he had a shot last year.
Was he at 20 last year, or was he at 26 last year?
What was Landon Blanton at last year?
He lost to Landon Blanton last year.
I don't remember because he didn't play, so I didn't put it down. 20. I think he was at 20. Let's just say 20, but must be 20. But I mean, if I pulled up some results here, I could find something. Um, let's see where he was at with the Hunaniga duel.
Well, here I got 120 up right here, though. Let's see here. Who was our? Yeah, but Landon Blanton was at 120 last year.
Well, he didn't wrestle yet, so I mean,
Landon Blanton has it.
No, he didn't wrestle. Byron versus Hananiga. At 120 it was Daniel Archer and then Damian Palacios. Those were the two at 120, 126. So there's no Norris in the lineup, or no Norris. Well,
yeah. Well, out of that so we'll see, I guess. But I think Tennyson wins it again.
Yep, for sure.
Got it.
Yeah, and I think Isaiah is probably definitely one of the favorites to come out of that sectional right now.
Right. Oh, yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well, let's go to 126. So 126, the other Waddle, returning state finalist, second runner-up to Tennyson, is the clear favorite across all the rankings.
Our guy Nick Marchese, he's good, man, and he hasn't he was sick. He's had a terrible start to the season as far as not terrible start. He's had terrible luck to the season so far.
So you're saying he's actually taken losses so far?
I think he wrestled a couple times at Donnybrook, and he just medically he's just sick there.
Yeah.
He didn't wrestle last night because he's not right yet. Nick Marchese's good. I don't know if he's Tyson Waddle good yet, but he will be come state series.
Got it.
How about that?
Well,
hey, you know him.
Yeah.
I don't know the guy. I mean, I don't know the guy. I haven't seen him. A couple weeks, obviously, we'll see him down at Abe's, right?
Yep.
And then the two other guys that definitely sticking out are Gavin Eckberg from North Boone, who had a hell of a run last year, and then Drew Sadler from Ann Jonesboro.
I think Eckberg trains with a pretty decent guy.
What's that?
Eckberg trains with a pretty decent guy.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, he's Eckberg got I think sixth in state last year at 126. He's back at 126. He's lean. He's tough. He's trained pretty often in the off season, and I'm interested to see how he kind of makes adjustments throughout the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was pleased watching his fundamentals last year. Kind of come out of, I'd say nowhere because North Boone doesn't really have the, the biggest program or some of the tournament results or team results. You don't kind of really hear of them. So coming to the sectional is like, okay, and we talked to Tyler Westland earlier on your podcast, and then who was Brandon Briggs was a big North Boone guy that had I think he's a two-time state champ, 3-time finalist, something like that. So, I mean, they've definitely had their individuals in that area. So it was cool to see another guy come up through there too. But
yeah, he's tough. He's a senior. I could make a case for him to be the number 2 spot right behind Tyson Waddle, and the only reason why I'd put Waddle clearly, I guess, just put him there in front of him is just because he's a returning state finalist. He's proven he's going to come from a good team, but I mean, the kid's good, so we shall see. But yeah, Eckberg's up there. I think he definitely deserves to be up there. Who else is coming back? So that Cooper Morris, he is from Coal City, right? And so he was expected. I mean, he could have been at 20 this year. So you're saying that he's coming out to up to 126. Where was he at last year?
He was a 13 pounder.
So he took 5th place at 113. Which
was a tough bracket, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was a 42-9 freshman last year. So he lost to the Sweely kid from Benton.
No, he beat Sweely.
He beat Sweely for 5th and 6th, but lost to him in the quarters.
Okay.
So that was his one loss. And then who did he lose to? And he lost to Alanis 9-3. So Morris lost to Alanis, then lost to Sweely, but then avenged the loss to Sweely.
Got it. So just by returning placers, you put Waddle, Ekberg, Morris, and then we don't have anybody else who's returning state placer.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
Marchese was he was in Arizona last year, so he didn't do anything at Illinois State, obviously, because he was in Arizona.
What was he doing in Arizona?
Getting an education.
Okay.
Getting some vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, how's he responding to the winters, man? I spent two winters in Arizona, and I've never been the same since.
Yeah, well, he's been sick for 3 weeks, so
so
not good yet.
All right, so we got Waddle, Ekberg, Morris, Marquise. How do you say his last name?
Marchese.
Marchese. Okay, and I know when I talked to Ryan Prater, Coach Prater, he was pretty bullish about him. He was pretty pumped.
Oh yeah.
I have not seen him on the mat, so I don't have much to be able to. I don't.
You'd like him. You'll like him. He goes.
All right. Anybody else in that weight class that sticks out from years before?
I'm looking at one set of 26 rankings, and my 26 rankings are so out of date that they still have Benish at 26. So
okay, yeah.
If I'm missing somebody obvious, it's not because I'm intentionally missing somebody obvious. It's because I just don't have the right dope.
Yep.
No, that's cool. I didn't have time to do all my homework, so yeah, I'm just kind of going by what I can find on my phone here quick, and some names. So
got it. Well, let's do this. Let's go into 132, and let's have that be our last weight class for the night, and we'll be able to reevaluate and look for the next couple weight classes. I mean, yeah, we're doing our due diligence to give everyone their due. So, 132
on paperwork. Dean Wainwright's probably the guy, right? On paper.
Yeah, he got third at 120.
Verheke
got fifth.
Are they twins or are they brothers? There's two of them. I know that.
This is Garrett, not Clinton.
Yeah.
So Garrett,
and he was Verheke was a third at 126, and he was a sixth at 120. And then Rainwhite was a champ at 6th. Now he's up at 20. Now he's back up to 32. How is he handling the growth? Yeah. Wainwright probably. If you're saying Jim, Wainwright by paper should be the favorite.
But yeah, Nelson Benish is good. Landon Blanton's good.
Yep. Landon Blanton's really hard to wrestle. He's good, and he's hard to wrestle. Nelson Benish, Ian Akers from Peoria, Notre Dame.
Okay.
He was a finalist at 13 last year. Qualifier the 2 years before that, senior. I don't remember if there's another Akers from Peoria, Notre Dame a few years ago, but I remember that name. He was really tough, Akers. And then I'm gonna throw the name Lincoln Hoger out there.
Yes.
I picked him last year in the sectional pick'em, and I remember watching him last year at sectionals, and he really stuck out. He filled up. Was that at 32 last year also? And that was 26. So and he ended up placing last year as a sophomore, 5th. Yeah. So that's gonna be a pretty tough bracket. And then you throw Brandon Green from Roxana.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of Roxana guys who were just mean.
Oh yeah.
Straight up mean. So I think he was one of them. Would he get
fifth place last year?
5th place. And then he got 5th at Greco too.
Most of the time, everything he goes by is Junior. So I mean, it's to the point where he's adapted the name Junior Green. So when you say Brandon Green, that's the dad. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, Junior Green's a stud. He's tough, man. Super tough.
So this I think this bracket actually has a lot of names with potentials. I don't know. I don't see a for sure top man in this bracket at all, honestly.
Let me just throw another dog in the box here. I think Alvarado, I think he finally certified at 32. So he'll be, but I think that's another one that, he'll make the certification and then he doesn't wrestle 32 until after Christmas, I think.
Okay. Yep.
Alvarado's going to be good at 32. Alvarado's going to be good wherever he goes. Alvarado's going to be good at 32.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree there. Then, especially if he has made it. What was the Lyle kid? 26? Why did that name look familiar?
Where's he from?
Because it's like AJ Ferrari's cousin or what?
Yeah. I just seen it. Yeah, Alexander Ferrari. He's just honorable state qualifier at 20 last year. So, but that's just like you say, another name in the fire. Don't know if it actually meant anything.
What that Ivy mentioned Hansen from Newman. Who's that? Zyler Hansen. He's somebody at 32, right?
At 32 from Newman.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they got Blanton from Newman.
Oh yeah. Blanton's there now, so he must be 20. I wonder if he's their 26 pounder.
What was the name again, Jim?
Zyler. I mean, Zyler Hansen. Hansen. I remember hearing his name today.
Zyler Hansen. He's a state qualifier 126 last year.
Okay.
He's a junior for Newman. Yeah. And
somebody else to throw in the hat at 26. You think?
I mean, he's a Newman kid. He'll be
Newman kid. And I seen Coach Rude Coach Rude was back in the room. I heard, and that's big. He's a longtime coach from the get-go, and back when they had all them state champ runs for years and years. So, I think it'll be interesting to kind of see where that program kind of comes back from, or not come back, kind of comes back and goes to this year, the next couple of years.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is Abe's Rumble is going to be a good opportunity to kind of see where the lineups actually are, see where these kids are. I mean, I don't know if Alvarado will be down to 32, but I mean, at the end of the day, maybe their team is better with him at 32 too. So
yeah,
I mean, I guess we'll find out. But yeah, I mean, I've also been close with Nelson Benish, and I think he has what it takes to get on the podium this year. But clearly the brackets. I mean, is there any bracket that's laid down for you? No, you got to go out there and take it and win, and you got to win close matches when you don't feel good and when just have to. So, when it comes down to it, the state tournament is still the variable.
But look at that. So like the Oregon sectional, right? It's in Oregon this year. So the Oregon sectional.
Yeah.
At 32, you're gonna. I'm assuming you're gonna have Alvarado. You're gonna have Benish. You're gonna have Holger. You're gonna have Blanton.
And you're gonna have Wainwright.
Wainwright.
At 32, you're gonna have Alvarado, Wainwright, Holger,
Blanton,
Benish, Blanton. Yeah.
Who else? I mean, someone's not going, man.
Someone's not going.
I mean, there's a lot more than there's a handful not going, but there's
one guy who is definitely in the top 10 in the state potentially. That's not going to make it to the state tournament.
Yes. Yep.
And that's the. I mean, you want to say drawback, but that's what that sectional is. I mean, buddy, you've been a part of that sectional for a long time. Like, there are plenty of kids that didn't make it out that were good enough to place in the state tournament.
Man, I was still in Follow the Leader back then too, and I came through. Remember that? You hope you got your guy won.
Yeah.
alone get even a chance to wrestle back. So yeah, I've seen some barn burners come through there. That's for sure. Yeah, that thing's wild.
Well, great. Yeah. I mean, that's a good way I think that's a good place to end it. Yeah, tough weight class. We'll find out more, but definitely. Now the Abe's Rumble, that is at the end of December or the start of January?
End of December.
I want to say 27th, 28th or something like that. All right.
I think we head down the day after Christmas, I believe.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Which I think we'll leave early again.
The day after Christmas is the 26th. So yeah, probably get on there 26th and compete 27, 28.
Yep.
I want to say.
And that was fun last year. Like that was, I'll admit, I was kind of like, oh man, this is going to be chaos, and it wasn't. It was.
Yeah. No, that's a good place to have that. Really. I mean, to me, that's a state. The state tournament premiere. That's how Iowa does it, isn't it? They do theirs in the middle of the season like that.
Yeah.
Or how do they do theirs?
I mean, I just don't understand how. I mean, I went to it for the first time last year. It was great. It was awesome. And I genuinely do not understand how it's gone on for multiple years. And the IHSA hasn't gone, oh, yeah, this makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Well, I could give you about 30 reasons why the IHSA never says, hey, this makes sense.
Yeah, we don't have to get too far into it. But yeah, I mean, I love that tournament. I think it's a great opportunity to see the teams in their collective. And yeah, we're going to find out a lot about matchups too, because a lot of the single A teams will end up running into each other. Some of these matchups are going to play out. So Oregon's going to play. They're going to have a solid team, so they're going to find their way somewhere into the bracket where they're going to run into maybe a Newman, maybe Riverdale. Is Riverdale down there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that's what the podcast we did the other day when I was saying, I think you have so many potential state championship matchups down there. You really do. I think it's, I know I'm hoping we see Unity, I believe.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
We want to see all the good teams, but I think Unity's the one where there's like a returning state champ, or a couple of returning state champs.
I think they had a few finalists last year. Yeah.
So.
Well, great. All right, guys. Well, we'll finish up there. We'll catch up soon and finish out our I don't even know what we could call them. We're doing our own rankings. Our top 5, top 6, our state preview. So thanks again for doing it. Anything else, guys? And I'll kick you out.
No, we're 144 next, correct?
38.
38. 38. I'll study on 38 then.
Got it.